This is Port 1119 with head frame hunters here in Greenlee County, Arizona at the Ash Peak mine over here at the hoisting shaft. This is a 975-foot incline shaft. The hoist house is up that way. And, this mine produced siliceous flux material. It was high in silver. A bit of gold came out as well. Some screen over the shaft. I've been told it's 900 feet to the water line by a guy who worked here in the late 80s. So I don't remember when operations began at the Ash Peak, but they wrapped up about early 90s. Climbed up to the mid-level of the head frame. See, the skip dumped into here. Then there is a flop door that controlled flow either down that chute or down to the bottom of the ore bin. And there was a conveyor down there. Ran to a crushing plant over that way. I would imagine that this chute right here was for development waste rock. Would have been trucked off or dumped further up the ridge. Hoist house is up here. It's in pretty sorry shape. Oh, the tweakers have hit this hard. Big old Nordberg hoist. That right there, that is a cable.
You let me get out of your video?
Whole back half of the hoist house just got ripped out. Ore specimen from the Ash Peak. It's high silica, silver, sulfides in there. It's the black. So this mine was actually operated by I believe Kennecott back then. We're in the smelter nearby, and captive in-house mine for flux. This is an older shaft, and they just got water and air running up it. A whole bunch of bacon strips on this high wall here. This was probably where the compressors were located. Seeing that big old hard line. And if memory serves, I've got grid power out here, so wouldn't have to run gensets or diesel compressors, which would be a boon for availability. Diesel fixed plant equipment likes to fail at the most inopportune moment in my experience. One of the powder mags is right here. You know, it's not powder mags. It's not necessarily a powder mag. That's all oil and fuel filters and air filters back in there. So the Ash Peak was a rubber tire mine. It was a rubber tire mine And I know they were running Boart Longyear long hole drills, doing 100-foot blind long hole raises, which is a challenge. This is the number 4 decline. And, it's been a while since there's been any equipment running here. The walls of the box cut sort of slid in, but the portal held. It's a real nicely built portal. Got steel sets, pipe. And in we go. Progressing down the Ash Peak decline, they had some interesting ground control up here. It looks like this is almost a fault zone.
Yeah.
There's this linear fissure here.
Hanging
They
walls to the right.
yeah, Gail said hanging walls to the right. So that's your footwall here. And they must have gone through half the bacon strips in the state of Arizona driving this here decline. Underground feature here is it's called a remuck bay. So when you do this is as you're advancing that decline further down, after you shoot it, you'd come back up here with your LHD and dump into the bay. Then your LHD would be working out of this remuck bay, kind of pulling backwards, and then your haul truck, or actually that's backwards. Your LHD would be pulling out this way, the way I'm motioning with the flashlight. Coming out here, and then down the decline, your truck would be parked forward right here, and I'd be loading over the back of the truck. Now, based on the size of this drift, I don't think they ran anything larger than, about 2-yard, 2.5-yard LHDs, nothing very large. So, something else to look out for, and this was bent. Something else to watch out for is rock bolts that are backing out. We found several in the back here that have backed out anywhere from 4 inches to a foot. That's a sign of a high stress area. But this got bent after it was pushed out, probably by a haul truck or an LHD. Came to this structure here. I believe this to have been a mucked out draw point. Probably a long hole stope developed up there along the vein, and we are roughly parallel to the vein. Would then muck this out with an LHD. By not having the LHD go into the open stope, you avoid needing a remote control machine, which would usually be a radio remote control, which is added expense, inefficiency, just not the best. Another one here, it's got a lot of muck in it, so we're going to be staying clear of it because it has spilled out into the decline a bit. Then this is old school. Got a timbered ore chute. So we're not going to be ascending this raise, but those ladders are splintered pretty badly. Yeah, I don't plan on going up there. And then this right here would be a little chute for pulling drills up out of the raise. Oh, yeah, we're not climbing that. That goes up, it looks about 50 feet. So if I were to guess, this was probably a shrinkage stope. So maybe the vein was too narrow here to long hole it, and they went about it the old way to get the high grade stuff. They did the same thing in the Summit mine, not too far from here. Before I turn the video on, I just heard the fragmentation sucks. That's a draw point, and If I were to guess, they had some pretty serious drill hole deviation in there, dropped down the powder factor locally, and that's why we've got 3-foot boulders sitting right there. Those will load with an LHD, it just won't be fun. But that's ore. That's exactly the same stuff we were seeing topside. See if I can get this to show up for educational purposes. This is a really bad slab on the upper part of the rib here. That's probably about a 2-ton slab. It runs through all the way to that bacon strip. That's the kind of things you got to watch out for. And if we had a bar, we'd be taking it down. That's just on the other side of that incomplete draw point.
I had a bad experience with bats, okay? It involved rabies shots.
Yeah. We're looking up another draw point into a stope. There's a lot of material that's gobbled out of there. I was talking earlier about bolts backing out as a sign of ground control problems. That's exactly what I'm referring to right there. That one's out, better part of a foot. And got some sketchy timbering up there. I don't know what's going on with that.
No mummified fawns?
No mummified fawns, unlike the East Camp. Got another ore chute up here. Wait, no, we do not. We've got a pretty significant fall, so we'll have to take a look at it and see if it's safely passable. Big issue I see here is how much material is remaining in those chutes and if there's any potential for it to fall. If there is not, we'll go ahead and cross. So that was a shrink stope. It wasn't really easy to see on video, but it was pretty narrow. Back at that ore chute. So that ore chute, the one closest to the camera, I can see the back of it. It's essentially empty and de-energized, so we decided to risk it. The manway, whatever they were using for the ladder rungs in here just didn't hold up very well. Moving forward, there's a very significant rib failure here that looks to have been pretty recent based on the color of the material, and that's probably a 6-foot by 4-foot slab right there. That's a Widowmaker, all right. So the decline really opens up in here. It halfway looks like they were doing, this was on vein development, I'm inclined to believe, and they decided to shoot up a bit into the back, get some ore during development, take some of their cost back. We just came to another remuck bay on the left, which is about the least interesting thing I can see.
Hey.
Nice mineralized material there, considering as I think we just came into a stope. Yeah, this is I don't even know what you'd call this, but this is incredibly high silica, good material up in here, and it drops down. There's the footwall. It drops down probably 8 feet below the floor of the decline. And then continuing forwards, we've got timbering up here. Might have punched through the stope there. More ore chutes. So logic would dictate that they were loading haul trucks out of the ore chutes. We've got, see that 1 stop, 2 down, 3 up. I don't know if they I know what that was for. They had an air tugger up there to pull drills and tools up into the stopes. So that was a little mini bell sheet for the tugger. Ooh. Well, this is terrifying. I've got a crazy theory here that explains this terrifying bullshit we just saw. So that's a shrink stope. And it's possible that the muck could have locked up inside the stope. So the way you work a shrink stope is you sort of work from the bottom up and leave a lot of material in after you shoot as a place to work. Then you'll draw down a little bit, and once you reach the top of the planned stope, then you draw it all down. I think what happened here is that the muck inside that stope locked up. So they drilled up here into the bottom sill pillar of the stope, blasted it, trying to recover that muck. Given that that's a boulder the size of a 1 yard LHD, I'm inclined to say that they did not succeed. It's also been pointed out that the ground control here is really badly torn up, as if this was all shot. So that's my going theory. This was a failed attempt to salvage a failed shrink stope. End of the line for this decline for us. There was another ore chute back there for another shrink stope, and well, if you've never seen a half a ton quartz slab hanging from a bacon strip, consider yourself lucky. I ain't crossing that. Looks like
Not much
that's
there.
just a short drive. There's a pipe in the rib. That could have been a drill hole station. Do some core out of there. But time to head topside, because there ain't no way. Coming out of the number 4 decline. Gonna poke around more. I don't think this is the only portal here.